everyone, today I'm going to be doing a product test slash demo. In my recent unboxing video, I showed a bunch of new products from Urban Decay, including the Velvetizer, which is a product that perplexes and intrigues me. I've never used anything like this and I'm excited. And a lot of you guys said I should do a video trying it out for the first time. So here we are, I'm doing it. I love hearing what you guys want to see, so always feel free to tell me in the comments. Definitely subscribe so you can keep coming back every week to see my new videos, and give this video a thumbs up if this is something that you like. Okay, before I get into putting on my foundation and seeing how this works, a little bit more about the Velvetizer. This packaging is so Urban Decay. I feel like it's old school Urban Decay. A little trip down memory lane. The very first palette, I think the very first eyeshadow palette I ever had in my life was Urban Decay, and it had this purple velvet flocking kind of business on it. I loved it so much. I think I still have it, even though I should never, ever, ever use it, just because I'm like sentimental. Why? I don't even know. Anyway, this is a translucent mix-in medium. So it's a very, very, very fine, super soft, translucent powder that you're supposed to mix in with liquid foundation. In their little description of it, they mention using it with Urban Decay foundations because of course, why wouldn't they do that? And one of the comments that I got on my unboxing video was, are you supposed to just use it with Urban Decay foundations? I mean, I think that's a lot to ask. It should work with any foundation in my mind, because how are they going to formulate this powder to only work with their foundations? I'm not a makeup scientist, but I feel like that's not possible. So I'm going to be mixing it in with one of my favorites, the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation. It's liquid foundation. It's from the drugstore. I've been using it for a really long time and I like it a lot. From what they say, when you mix this in with your foundation, it gives you a few different benefits. It gives your foundation a more velvety feel. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be like. Maybe it's like thicker. That doesn't really sound like a good thing, but we'll see. Also, a more coverage and a matte finish, which is something I really like. I'm a big fan of using translucent powder on my face before I add liquid foundation, just to make it all more matte, and it does give you a little bit more coverage. I usually use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder to do that on a daily basis, but I've never mixed it in with my foundation, so this is an adventure. I'm very excited. It also says that you can use this as a setting powder, so I'm gonna do that today. I've already primed my skin using the new Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer, and then also the Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot, and I use this in the T-zone and on my forehead. Combo primer day. I feel like I've done my best to try to figure out how much of this to use, and I can't find anything. I haven't watched any other review videos on this. I'm just winging it. I don't usually use like a palette. I know some people are super / way too fancy and they're like, here is my piece of pure marble and I'm just gonna mix up my foundation. No, I have like a little saucer kind of thing. That's the best I can do. I was just not born that fancy. Bloop. Oh, that's a lot of foundation. Oh, this is way more than I would normally use. So okay, and then a lot of this is right here in the cap, so I'm gonna try to be really careful. I'm just gonna add a little bit because honestly, I'm nervous. Just see what's happening there. That's what I've done. I'm just gonna mix it in with my finger. Ooh, interesting. I don't know if I used enough, but I'm gonna just go with it. I just self-tanned yesterday, so I'm feeling pretty dark today. This foundation tends to oxidize a bit, so who knows what color I'm gonna be later. And I'm just using a flat top kabuki brush. This is my favorite application mode. I always think it's so funny when people do foundation reviews and they do one side of their face with a beauty blender and one side with a brush. And basically without fail, when they go onto the brush side, they're like, oh my gosh, you definitely get more coverage with a brush for this foundation. And I'm like, beauty blenders never give you as much coverage. I mean, they've never given me more coverage in my experience, and it seems like everyone always says that, which I think is very funny. I mean, I guess it'd be new information if you've never watched a foundation review before, but I just skip over the whole beauty blender thing. I want more coverage. Why not? I'm not noticing that it's going on any different for me. Maybe a little more coverage, maybe. You know what? I do think the Velvetizer has added a little more coverage to the matte and poreless. If I want like full coverage from matte and poreless, I'll usually like do 2 layers, and even then it's usually like not quite full coverage, which I think is a nice everyday look, but sometimes you want full coverage, you know, it happens. I've been there. I'm there a lot, okay? Okay, I'm sorry if that was too bright for a second. I feel like this is doing good things for me. I don't think that it's making it more thick and gross, and that was kind of my first thought. When I thought velvet on my face, I was thinking like that could be like not so much a pretty thing, and I was a little bit nervous, but I actually think I see what they mean, and I think this is good. I like this. It doesn't seem, whoa, I just knocked over my foundation. It doesn't seem cakey, like I'm not out in natural light right now. So that will definitely tell us more about the finish, but I do think it added coverage and I do think it looks good. I'm not sure if it made it more matte, but maybe it'll keep it matte longer because I do get oily through the day, even when I use this foundation, which, you know, that's okay. I'm oily, I live in Houston, it's humid on another level. Do you see this? This one little bang that wants to be the star of the show. I just got my bangs trimmed and it's like I can't even pin them back. They're like real short right now. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my concealers. This is the NARS Creme Brulee Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I use this one for redness and blemishes and stuff around my face. This coverage is actually really, really nice, and I feel like I don't need a lot of concealer, which is so good. I am a big fan of that. This morning, for some reason, I decided, hey, now's a great time to like pick on your face. That would be really good when you're gonna do like a face video. Great idea, Leigh-Ann. You're so smart. I think I just got a little too close to the mirror and I could not say no. Actually, at this moment, I am feeling like it's a little bit heavier than what it would normally be with just the foundation on its own, but obviously that's to be expected. I added a powder to it, so it's gonna be a little heavier. Now I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer under my eyes, just a bit. I'm doing this part on camera because I'm going to set my concealer with the Velvetizer, just so I can give it a little test as a finishing powder as well. Pressure's on, Urban Decay, what you gonna do? All right, so now I'm just using a wee little bit of the Velvetizer to set my concealer under my eyes. This is a pretty big test because I'm pretty much married to my Laura Mercier, and I do consistently try other things, and I'm consistently going back to it. You know how sometimes powders, when you put them on, it almost like reverses the power of your concealer a little bit? I feel like that happened a little bit, but mostly just on this eye. This powder works and it's very smooth. It's so fine. I feel like this is like the finest powder I've ever felt, maybe. I don't know. It just has a little bit of a different texture. A lot like the Makeup Forever HD powder. So fine, so soft. All right, I'm gonna go finish my makeup and I'll see you back in a second. Whoa. I almost pushed over everything. I'm back. Here's my makeup all completely done. I feel like it looks good. I'm pretty surprised that this isn't like a super cakey look. I mean, think about it. You're adding flour and water and oil and, you know, liquid stuff in and mixing it all up. You're basically baking a cake on your face. It is so surprising that it's not super, super cakey. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. Hopefully I'll check in along the way. All right, here we go. there we go. Yeah, you can see I've got some major shine going on all over. I didn't actually use a shine sheet all day. Usually I would, like in the late afternoon, but I resisted. I think I started getting the urge around like 4:30 or 5. I think typically I would get the urge a little bit sooner. So there's actually a chance that the Velvetizer kept the shine at bay a little bit longer than it normally would, but it's the end of the day and I'm definitely very shiny. All right, somehow I feel like my bangs just got weirder through the day. Usually it doesn't go like that. Right now it's about like 8:15-ish. The sun is about to go completely down. I felt like finishing out this video. I did use a shine sheet on my way home from work, and I don't think more coverage came off than usual. It did fade a little bit and I have some redness peeking through around my nose, but generally it looks all right. I could probably use some powder, but that's kind of normal for me. I feel like this stuff is good. I don't feel like it performed any miracles. It definitely added coverage to my foundation. I do think it helped a little bit with keeping everything matte. I mean, I probably should have used it with like a dewy foundation or a foundation that wasn't specifically already matte, but that's what I like, so why not? But I figured why not try it with the one that I have a lot of experience with, and that's one that I've been loving lately. Basically, I feel like my foundation wore the same as it normally would, but it had a little bit more coverage. Not a ton more, but that seems like the biggest benefit with this powder mixing with foundation technique. It kind of blew my mind. I was worried about it, but I think it went pretty well. I like this. I wonder if it would work with other translucent powders. Have you ever tried this technique? Am I just like on another planet, not knowing anything about makeup because I haven't heard about this? It's kind of cool. I'm really glad I tried it. Hopefully you guys found this review helpful. Are you gonna try it? Are you scared about this? I'm definitely gonna try it with more foundations. I'll report back if I learn anything new or if I try a different technique. I will always keep you guys posted. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to my channel to keep up with all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Definitely come say hey on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. It's LeighAnnSays absolutely everywhere, and I love talking to you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. This one is just, I don't know, it just didn't lay on my skin well. It didn't blend out well. It looked bad like from moment one. Sometimes products will look good like right away and then over time it will look bad. No, this looked bad from moment one. I don't know why. I'm gonna take